What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from the 450 North Brewing Company, and they're out of Columbus, Indiana, and this is their Slushy XL, the Brunch Raspberry variant. So they're calling this one a Smoothie-style Berliner Weisse that is brewed with raspberry, maple syrup, granola, honey, almonds, brown sugar, and vanilla. It comes in at 5.72% alcohol by volume, no IBUs listed in time of review. This can is just over 4.5 months old. I'm going to give a huge thanks and shout out once again to a very good friend of mine and viewer of the channel, Todd, for hooking me up with this one. So thank you very much, Todd. In the description box, I'll post a link to the beer mail unboxing video I did that contains all the goodies that Todd sent my way. And I believe this is the last slushy and last beer in general that I'm reviewing from that box of goodies that Todd sent my way. I have reviewed 3 other Slushy XLs and a Slush Mellow from 450 North, courtesy of Todd, and they were all pretty damn good. Some I liked more than others, but they were all pretty fucking good. And this one I saved for last for a couple of reasons. Number one, when it comes to like sweeter pastry sour ales, they're hit or miss for me. In this one, you're talking raspberry, maple syrup, granola, honey, almonds, brown sugar, and vanilla. I feel like this is going to be like a super sweet pastry sour. Now, whether or not it's going to be tasty, I guess we'll see. But I'm hopeful. I'm excited, but also reserved a little bit in that excitement. But anyway, as I do with all of these heavily fruited sour ales, I pour them off camera before reviewing them for obvious reasons. They have a tendency to explode, especially the 450 North variants. They can, and this one gushed a little bit. I lost maybe like a half an ounce of it, but we saved most of it. Now this pours out this really deep, like violet color, huge purple tones, this one. It had about a half finger of this like pink colored head. There is some residue from the puree that they're using from the raspberry. Now I believe they have different brunch variants, but this one is the raspberry one, so that's what we're reviewing. Let's get nose. Okay, so this smells to me like, I think it might be behind me on the pretentious wall of bottles and cans, but I'm not sure exactly. I think it'd be right behind me, like to my right here, to your left. Other half, they do their crunchy series, and they have a couple different raspberry ones. That's what it smells like to me. It smells like a raspberry parfait. Picture yourself having the raspberry parfait, you know, with the yogurt, raspberries, the granola, and like other stuff in there. That's exactly what this smells like. Yeah, I mean, tons of maple syrup on top. There's maple and granola dominating over top. Then there's that like sour tart tinge from the base Berliner Weisse. There's like this jammy berry, but it's more of like not super sweet jammy berry, more like a tart jammy berry. A little bit of vanilla. This smells fucking, listen, like I said, I have a reserved excitement here, but this smells fucking absolutely delicious. It smells great. It smells like I'm hopefully going to enjoy this one. We will see though. Cheers everyone, and thanks again, Todd. That is a lot. That is a lot. Oh, this is actually fucking tart. Thank you. Thank you for making this tart. I say that only because so many of these 450 North slushies don't have that tartness. They'll have like a slight smidge of tartness or like a firm tartness. This is borderline sour. Let me go back in for a sip because that was a roller coaster. There's a lot of maple syrup here. If you don't like maple, there's no fucking way you're going to like this beer. All right, body, basically medium to full-on body. It's thick, it's syrupy. It's a fruit smoothie Berliner Weisse. That's what it is. Mouthfeel soft, smooth, not really creamy. There's carbonation though. This is like one of their average beers when it comes to the mouthfeel in terms of, the mouthfeel is not average, but it's just kind of the basic mouthfeel I get from 450 North Slushy. It's soft and smooth, but it has appropriate amount of carbonation. The body's fantastic. The mouthfeel, pretty damn good. The taste, right at the forefront. There's a shit ton of maple. You cannot get past that maple. I can't. Right at the forefront. You can't. It's unmistakable. It's there. And then right after that, you're hit with a raspberry jamminess. Like I said, though, it has like the tartness you would get from a raspberry in addition to the jamminess. Underlying granola presence throughout the entire palate, so you get that like parfait, like just kind of essence to the beer. Mid palate's where that, I'm going to say it's a low sourness hits me. And it's so welcomed because without that, this would be 100% way too sweet for not only me, but a lot of people probably out there, because it does have a pretty big sweetness. You're talking maple and vanilla and brown sugar and granola and what else is there? almonds and maple. You got maple, honey, fucking just raspberries. There's so much sweet, so many sweet, baby. Turn it a little bit dusty Joe here, baby. No, a little bit of, or I should say a lot of sweetness in this, a lot of different adjuncts that are providing the sweetness. And yeah, without that firm, I'm gonna say it's like a firm sourness. Like this would be way too sweet. Yeah, so maple at the forefront, followed by jammy, tart berries, underlying granola, mid-palate, that firm sourness hits, carries on to the back, a little bit of an acidity there. Vanilla is a little bit prominent too in the finish, but that maple hits you again. Maple at the forefront, maple at the back, kind of dissipates in the middle of the palate. This finishes to the sweeter side, which is fine, but it does have that firm sourness, so it does have a good mix. No bitterness to speak of. Yeah, you know what? This has surpassed my expectations. It's pretty much what they say it is. It's a it's what is it? Brunch Raspberry Slushy XL. Yeah, like I could totally see this is just like a sour beer form of a raspberry parfait to me, with some drizzled maple syrup and just maybe a little bit more sweetness than you're accustomed to. Not much more to say about it. It's fucking delicious. So rating on the Slushy XL Brunch Raspberry variant, I'm going to give it a high 4.5 out of 5. I'm going to go 4.6 out of 5. Almost gets into 4.75 range. I do think it's a bit, it's not cloying, but it's still very sweet. That firm sourness stops it from being too sweet though, but it's still a little bit too sweet for I think more than a can. Like last couple ounces of this, I'm probably going to be like, ooh. And it's very rich too. Super complex, a lot of things going on. Could be too much for somebody. I thought it was going to be too much for me, but it turns out I actually like it quite a bit. So price and availability, I believe these are $22 a 4-pack and available only at the brewery. You can trade for them if you know somebody who lives in and around Columbus, Indiana, or close to the brewery. I know Todd. Todd's nice enough to send me stuff occasionally from them, and I can't thank him enough. This is fucking really tasty. So if you've had this one before, definitely let me know what you think about it. I appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. Oh yeah, the 5.72. Excuse me, I'm a little bit gassy. 5.72. Yeah, really can't tell there's any alcohol in here, so it's 5.72. Kind of tastes like it. There's not much going on, so they did a pretty fucking good job with this. So yeah, anyway, appreciate everybody stopping by. Until the next one, cheers.